Go get on the track.
Welcome to Convinced and Confident. My name is Sarah Gilmore, and my co-host is Tamara Bluedorn. And each week we bring to you an inspiring message or person that will help you on your journey to self-discovery. No two minds can come together without a third invisible force, which may be likened to the third mind, Napoleon Hill. Our topic today is the power of the mastermind. Those of you out there, I know most of you, are very comfortable now with the thought of a mastermind. And our guest today is George Shelley Gilmore. He happens to be my son, but he also has helped to run the company that I run for the last 25 years at least. He's also a real estate investor. He is what we call a serial entrepreneur. He's done a little bit of everything. Napoleon Hill also says that the importance of the mastermind is that it gives you speed and adds more power to what you're doing. So our guest today, George Gilmore, let's talk a little bit about the mastermind. Talk to me. What is, in your opinion, a mastermind?
A mastermind is, in general, when a group of people, a group of like-minded people get together, typically on a quarterly basis, and they discuss their needs, their desires, their wants in a particular area. It may be in entrepreneurship, it may be in arts, it may be in law, it can be in any subject matter.
Okay. I've read that there are approximately 35 or more mastermind groups. Doctors have masterminds. Anybody can have a mastermind, actually. But what Napoleon says it does, it adds power and it adds speed to whatever goal you're trying to achieve. He said you may do, for example, you're in a mastermind. It may take you a year to do something alone would have taken you 3 years. So do you agree with that, George? What do you think of that?
Absolutely. From my personal experiences, I actually joined a mastermind 2 years ago.
Okay.
And just from that, being in that group, some of the things that I was working on, I was just able to get to them a lot quicker than I would have been able to do by myself.
So you've actually joined a mastermind group.
Absolutely.
Is your mastermind group for entrepreneurs, business? What kind of group is it?
My particular mastermind is for entrepreneurs, business owners, and life in general. So I would call it a business/life mastermind.
Oh, business/life. What do you mean by that?
Where in my group, it's probably 30 people, 25 to 30 people at any given time. And like I said, we meet quarterly anywhere in the nation.
Okay.
And when we get together, we discuss each other's business problems, business opportunities.
Oh, okay.
It's a networking group, but it's more specific once you get inside of the group. The general gist of the thing is, how can we help each other?
So that's that third mind,
exactly,
that Napoleon Hill talks about.
Exactly.
That's excellent. How did you decide what group you wanted to join? Because as we said, there's so many out there. How did you know?
I knew for me specifically, I wanted to do be inside of a business type mastermind.
Okay.
What led to it, I was kind of getting frustrated with a particular business venture that I was working on.
Okay.
And I just needed to find other people that were dealing with some of the same problems. I ended up joining, if you're familiar with the guy, Dr. Eric Thomas, he's the motivational speaker.
Yes.
I ended up joining his mastermind 2 years ago, March. And I wasn't going to join a mastermind.
What happened then that caused you to join?
I had gone to an event that he had. It was probably 500 people at the event. And they were having a private dinner after the event.
Okay.
Not, how do I say this? It wasn't a cheap event. I'll put it that way.
I got it.
And I remember questioning some of my friends about whether I should pay to go to this private dinner. It was for 12 people, along with Dr. Eric Thomas and his team.
Okay.
And the best money I ever paid in my life. So yes, absolutely.
Your results have been well worth your time and well worth your money.
Absolutely.
What is the consistency of your group, though? Is everybody a business owner?
Pretty much in my group. Pretty much everybody is an entrepreneur.
Everybody is an entrepreneur.
Yeah, pretty much, yes.
Okay.
A couple of doctors.
What kinds of businesses, though? Do they have specifically the kind of business you have, or is it just as good when people have a variety?
No, the benefit is coming from people, for me, people in a variety of businesses. But there are some masterminds that have individuals with the same exact business. But my mastermind has people from roofing companies, solar panel companies, doctors, real estate investors, hairstylists.
Very good.
Yeah, it's a hodgepodge of people in this particular.
I can see where that could work too, because these people bring something different to the table, but it also can give you, as we call it, a bright idea on how to do something better, a better way than what you're doing.
Absolutely. Oftentimes you do end up getting ideas. What also happens, once you get to know the people in your mastermind, you get invited to be a part of other business opportunities that you never would have thought of.
Oh, that's the networking part. Exactly, that's fantastic. Exactly. I imagine they also, let's say you're having an accounting problem or a problem with the IRS. I bet they also point you to somebody who can help you.
There are people that have gone through some of the things that you might be going through 10 years ago, and they can tell you exactly how to get out of that particular problem.
That makes a world. Yes. No wonder Napoleon Hill said that makes all the difference in the world. The first time I'd heard of a mastermind in reality was reading Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
But did you know that Andrew Carnegie says the first time he heard of it, he saw the 12 disciples and Jesus. He saw that as a mastermind. He looked at it and said, well, Jesus gets his power from God.
Mm-hmm.
Then the rest get their power from Jesus. The disciples get their power from Jesus. Mm-hmm. That's an excellent way to look at it. What do you think of that, George?
That's a pretty good analogy.
You think that's a good analogy?
I never looked at it that way, but that is a pretty good analogy. I never heard that one.
Very good. Very good. That's a good way to look at it. So it's taken you've been there 2 years. What specifically can you think they've done to help you? Can you think of any one thing that's been specific?
The main thing that I've seen, one of the guys in our group, Jamal King, who I've become a friend of, he explains it like this. If you're in a group of people, and say you're running a race.
Okay.
And the fastest that you can run the race is at 10 miles an hour.
Okay.
Say I'm a person who runs at 7 miles an hour.
By yourself?
By myself.
Okay.
But I'm on that track field with 20 guys that are running anywhere from 7 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to eventually happen? My 7 is going to creep up to 8. My 8 is going to creep up to 9.
Why? Why does that happen, though?
The consistency of the group, the power of the group, the energy of the group automatically pulls you to another level.
Excellent.
Another level of achievement. And I've seen it. I've witnessed it, not only in myself, but others in the group.
Excellent. How often do you all meet?
Again, like I said, we meet quarterly, 4 times a year, anywhere in the nation. This is how our mastermind works.
Okay.
Usually they'll do, just for environment's sake, for hours, they'll rent a mansion for the weekend.
Nice.
We'll have the event there. We'll have catered chef, the whole thing. The whole thing is about environment.
Yes, that exposes you.
Everything's about exposure. Absolutely.
And I imagine many mastermind groups work that way, because it does take, let's say the guy you've just started,
right.
It does take him and expose him to something at a different level.
Exactly.
Now he can dream.
Exactly.
Which is fantastic.
Exactly.
Now he can dream.
And that's one of the key things. They definitely told us, we want you to be exposed to a different level of thinking, a different level of living, a different level of being. Things that you never would have considered.
Now you can.
And that you can attain.
If I can see it, I can believe it.
Exactly.
And now, therefore, I can do it.
Exactly.
That is actually fantastic. When you meet, what normally is on your agenda? I know everyone has an agenda.
Right. Each quarter, there's a different subject matter. Like I said, we'll go for 2 days. Session usually starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 3 p.m.
Okay.
So we'll come into the 9 a.m. session, and there'll be a subject matter expert probably in a particular space. One time we had a tax accountant.
That's good.
A financial advisor, somebody in the mental health space for entrepreneurs.
Excellent.
Because oftentimes entrepreneurs overlook their mental health.
That's exactly right.
So we might do a whole 2-hour session on that, take a break for lunch. Then we'll come back and they do what they call the hot seat.
And what's the hot seat?
The hot seat is when each individual in the group, you usually get 5 minutes to 10 minutes where you're in front of the group.
Oh, goodness.
And you tell what you're working on, what have been your problems during this past quarter, where you're trying to get to. then at the end of that, the question is, how can the group help you? And what happens, everybody in the group, anybody that has an answer or whatever, however they can contribute to whatever your issue is.
Okay.
And that's when we start putting that particular information out.
Very good.
And accountability too.
Tell me about the accountability part.
What happens, it seems like there's no standard saying, hey, you need an accountability partner.
Okay.
But what ends up happening is your connection to other people, you automatically become accountability partners to each other.
Right, because they're going to say, hey, George, have you done what you said you were going to do?
Exactly.
That actually is, especially for us entrepreneurs, because we can get lost in the clouds, as I call it. That's an excellent thing to do there. Very good. Very good. So if I'm just thinking of starting a business, is the mastermind too much for me, or am I okay in joining that?
I think anybody needs to be in a mastermind. And when I say that, I've been around guys that make $1 million a year and guys that have built $100 million a year company.
So you've seen both kinds in the mastermind.
And all say, even the guy that's done 100 million will tell you, yes, you need to be in a mastermind, no matter what level you're starting at. It's just a fact.
Because it's something you need.
And if you follow most of the guys if you follow them online, a lot of the big names that are out there, every one of the rich guys that are online now, every one of them are in more than one mastermind.
Really?
Yeah, they'll be in a mastermind for their business. They'll be in one for their health. They'll be, you know what I mean? Yes, I've seen that several times.
Fantastic. I can see where that would make sense. Very much so. Well, George, here's a question for you. What keeps you convinced and confident? You've talked about the wonders of the mastermind, and I can see where everybody really could use that. So, but what keeps you other than that, or including that? What keeps you convinced and confident?
Basically, I would say my faith in my abilities, the faith in seeing the things that we've done in the past or I've been able to accomplish in the past. And being a part of a mastermind helps to expand that which I've already done.
Very good.
You know what I mean? If I'm being a part of this group, I can see I have 5-year plans in certain areas. Like since I started in the mastermind, I started investing heavily in real estate. Outside of the state of North Carolina, I'm investing in Chicago now. I've got a 5-year plan that I didn't have 2 years ago.
That's what I was going to ask you. Had you done that on your own?
No, I never would have done that unless I had been a part of the mastermind and met a sharp investor out of Chicago who said, hey, let me show you the blueprint.
And showed you what to do and how to do it.
This individual took and gave me his lawyer, his real estate agent, everything, even the financing companies, to help me to invest into multifamily properties, not just single family properties, but we are actually investing in multifamily apartment buildings in Chicago. So I know within a 5-year period, just on that interaction, that connection
with him,
my net worth will increase by $3 million. Just on that one.
Just on that one connection.
On that one connection.
And you haven't talked about some of the others that I've heard you mention.
No, some of the other things I've been invited to help start a roofing company if I chose to.
Wow.
I didn't want to do it. Been invited to open another business in Chicago. It's just a bit.
You're choosing, but you have those options.
The options are there. Once you go into these groups, the table is full of options.
The table is spread. Yeah, you have to pick and choose.
Yes, exactly.
That is excellent. Exactly. That is excellent. Napoleon Hill defined it this way. The mastermind is a coordination of knowledge and effort of 2 or more people who work together towards a definite purpose in the spirit of harmony. And I found that that's something that's so important. It sounds like you have it in your mastermind. The word coordination and the word purpose and the word harmony sounds so important. Our guest today was George Gilmore. And remember the power of the mastermind.
That's our show. And we thank you for listening. If you like our show, Convinced and Confident, please leave us a rating and download us on Apple Podcasts and Google Play.